WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I'm in Sweden, Mackmyra Björksav. That is actually birch wine juice, or birch sap wine. Sorry, that's the way to say it. Birch sap wine. Now in America, first of all, look at the packaging. Wonderful design, love that. Love this little thing here. You can see that. Nice description here. You pull out the bottle, boom, boom, boom. And we have this here, very, very well done. So you have the bottle with its content. Look at the lettering. By the way, do you see any no, can't be any type of familiarity here, right? No. All right, good. So we have here, they've actually been in business since 1999. They've been doing this for over 20 years. The bottle design has not changed that much. Angela is the master distiller, and she has done an interesting job of producing things which are unique, to say the least. So this is Birch wine cask finish, whiskey base 178382, 15,000 bottles worldwide. Interesting. 46.1%, very good. Non-chilled filtered, no color added. I paid 55 euros basically for this, and this is their season whiskey for the spring for 2021. So they've been doing a lot of whiskeys over the years for the different seasons, and so that means they do it once, and that was it. And that's good if you don't like it, and it's terrible if you do like it. All right, so the birch wine, the birch sap wine, they got from a company called Greitheiten Wien. Now, my Swedish is terrible, I'm sorry, but they're the same company that actually gave them the hunting wine for their Jaktlikör. And so Angela was at the company in the evening. They did a dinner, and they actually had the birch sap wine on the table, a somewhat dry wine. She tried it, was like, this is interesting. I'd like to do a finishing with this. But then she said, I needed a sweeter. Can you make it sweeter? Yeah, no problem. So they made it sweeter. She got it. She used it. So what do we have here? There's actually a list of all the different barrels here. So there's in this bottle here, 30% was matured in ex-bourbon aged, or ex-bourbon casks. It's aged there. Unfortunately, no years. The European Union doesn't like that when we put the years on there, but you can put down what casks, and you can put down what percentage, but the age could be difficult because you're only allowed to name the youngest whiskey. All right, so the 24% was Oloroso casks that was aged in, so very, very good. So only 20% was aged in birch sap wine finished casks. And the finishing were about 2 months. Not that long, but enough to actually get it in there. All right, now what really, really surprised me was the next category. It said 18% other seasoned casks. Other? Really? All right, so 20% is the birch sap wine, a fifth, and almost a fifth is others. I don't know. All right, 8% was Swedish oak. So total 100%. Very, very well done. Now, I grew up in the Appalachian Mountains in Pennsylvania, and some of my relatives would actually tap the maple trees. And they'd hang a bucket underneath there, and you'd get actually maple syrup. Well, the syrup you make after cooking it and getting rid of the water. So at the very beginning, you get like a maple juice. And some of my relatives sometimes would actually give us some of their homemade maple syrup, and sometimes it was very thin yet sweet, and sometimes it was very thick and not as sweet, and sometimes it was thick and sweet, sometimes it was thin and not as sweet. Depends. Yeah, and it depends on how the trees were, and depends on how you actually cooked it and made it. And so I do know a little bit about how that maple sap actually tastes like. And it's very vegetal. I'm going to use the word vegetal here. And that's what I'm getting here. This whiskey has been tampered with, adulterated is what I wanted to say. Now, I have a little box here, and within this box, I have my whiskeys. I have my bourbons, and I have my ryes, and I have my Irish whiskeys, and I have my Scotch, and I have my Japanese whiskeys, and so on. And I have my little box, and that's how whiskey's supposed to taste. Now, Mackmyra is almost always outside that box. Angela's doing things that are crazy, wild, unconventional. She's always pushing the envelope and doing other things. There was a whiskey a few years ago, I think five. It was called Blumenstedt. It was actually matured in cherry, so not sherry with an S, but a C, cherry wine cask. It was some of the best whiskey I've ever had in my life. I loved it. And there have been many, 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 many other products from Mackmyra where I just kind of go, nah. And unfortunately, this also belongs to the nah category for me. I bought the bottle, I shared it. I have a group, it's called Superfans. They're my Patreons, they're people who actually are members here by YouTube. They get to actually have the opportunity to share the bottle with me. They get 5 or 10 CL. They get to park their samples here until the package is full. They send out the package. And so I get to buy bottles, review them, and also then share the bottles and get rid of them. I wish I would have had this system 3 years ago when I started because I have a big collection of bottles which I can't get rid of at the moment because I can't drink them all because I'm always doing new bottles. The system works now, and I'm very happy to have that and very happy to have the support. That's why I buy a lot of bottles that I personally would never ever want or ever want to try. Now, that's the good thing. I test my borders and I expand my horizon and I get to do things. And I decided to do my English video as well about this. Now there's a sweetness in here. There's a sweet vegetal moment. That's actually on the nose, not a bad thing. It says here in the back, we started the production of Sweden's first single malt back in 1999, surrounded by grain fields to the south and woods to the north. We produce our whiskey here using classic methods, but with local Swedish ingredients. Driven by curiosity, yes, and the desire to experiment, definitely. We question old accepted truth and create our own path. So, and that's definitely what they're doing here. So all the best to you also in Sweden. Angela, thank you very much for trying new things. And sometimes for me, they're beautiful. Sometimes they're for you beautiful. But we must admit you are pushing the boundaries of whiskey, and you've rightly been inducted into the Hall of Fame of Whiskey. Congratulations. Hmm. Would you really put birch sap into your whiskey? I wouldn't. So especially towards the end, there's a bitterness, there's a vegetal type of green moment. It's not the most enjoyable whiskey for me. Now, some of my friends have actually bought this bottle in Germany and they tried it, and some of them are excited, they loved it. Other people tried it and they were like, well, I'm not sure. And we had a little warm spell over here, and people went out and had barbecues and so on, and they brought out the whiskey and was like, "Oh, this is great for a barbecue. It complements the taste of a barbecue wonderfully." Like maybe. I would rather have a bourbon for a barbecue any day of the week. Give me a cask strength bourbon, I'm going to be happy. Even a Buffalo Trace, I'll be happy. Eagle Rare, no problem. This, a problem. Um, yeah, it's the whole time that vegetal, sappy moment with the whiskey. Yes, it is a single malt. Yes, it is 100% barley. Yes, it's a nose age statement. Yes, there's bourbon, there's oloroso, there's sherry, there's birch sap wine, there's Swedish oak, and something else in here, 18% that I'll never know. Um, but to be honest, it's just not my cup of tea. All right, so I'm going to give this a D plus. Value for money, a D minus. Hey, 55 euros for a bottle I don't like. So my question of the day is, have you tried this? If so, what is your opinion? Second question of the day, have you tried anything else from Mackmyra that you really liked? Write down which one you really liked and why. They do have some excellent things. They have different series. They have their seasons whiskey. They have always something for spring and summer and fall and winter. And then on top of that, they have a higher series, which is the Premium League, where they bring out special expressions every day. And down below that, they actually have a core range that they like to share and to help others to introduce them to Swedish whiskies. All right, thank you very much for watching. So sorry that I did not like this. I hope you got a little bit of a insight into what this Mackmyra is. And yeah, Birch sap wine cask finish whiskey is just not my thing. Thank you. Like, subscribe, tell others about this crazy guy over here in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Bye bye.